Hi everyone, and thanks for jumping into the next video of our ISO Explained series. Self-paced series of videos and resources to help you unpack the complexities and requirements of the ISO standards for quality, safety, and environmental management. The goal of this series is to help business owners and managers who may not have a background in ISO or management systems gain an understanding of these standards to ultimately align their businesses to these frameworks to win more contracts, reduce costs, and improve efficiencies. In this section, we're exploring Clause 7, Support. In this clause, you will begin to look at the support and resources needed to meet your goals and objectives. These resources can take many forms, such as communications, documented information, and records. Here, it's your responsibility to supply competent resources to help the management system function and deliver your goods and services. The first area we want to look at is resources. More specifically, what resources are required to establish, implement, and improve the management system. The standard explicitly mentions ensuring that the required people, infrastructure, and environment are provided to ensure this. To help you determine your required resources, go to the resource management document in your templates. This will help you outline your resources for human resources, knowledge preservation, infrastructure, and work environment. Another aspect under resources is how you monitor and measure these resources. Here, you need to ensure that any equipment or instruments used in the operation of your management system is calibrated effectively and regularly. Inside these templates, you can reference form F5.15, the calibration record, to record and log your calibration checks. However, you can also leverage the asset register inside the online SafeWrite platform. This will give you a really clear way to define and categorize all your equipment, with the added benefit of getting reminded when new inspections or reviews are due. Next up, we want to look at competency. That is the necessary competence that any person who is doing work under the management system has. Once again, it's your responsibility to ensure that any new staff members have or are given the appropriate training, education, or experience required for their job and their role within the management system as a whole. A handy document to leverage here is form F5.20, the job description template, which is a template that you can use to identify some of the skills, requirements, and education required by any new candidates. The standard also stipulates that you go one step further and take the applicable actions to ensure training and competencies remain up to date. Here is where another one of the online SafeWrite registers can help. By utilising our training register, you are not only able to record staff licenses, qualifications, and training events, but you can also get notified when a license is coming up for an expiry, or there is a retraining that might be needed to be undertaken. This is a great way to keep your staff covered and in date, while also giving you a big tick in the box from an auditor's perspective due to the automated nature of these reminders. The next section we need to delve into is awareness. That is ensuring that all people within the management system are aware of policies, objectives, their contribution to the effectiveness of the management system, and the implications for not conforming to the management system. Now, this may be something that you are already doing when onboarding a new employee. They may be required to read and acknowledge your policies and procedures as part of their induction. But how do you notify your team when a change or revision to the system has been published? Here you can look at the SafeWrite Policies Manager and the notification via email function. We've already spoken about this in previous videos, but this is a great tool that you can use to not only notify your staff when a new change has been published, but also request and track their acknowledgement so you can ensure that they have read and acknowledged the most up-to-date versions of the management system documentation. Next, we can then move on to the next requirement in this clause, which is documented information. This outlines your requirements to provide documented information of your management system. If you're using the SafeWrite templates, you're already on the right track, as our documentation already covers 70 to 90% of all documented requirements of the ISO standard. However, it's still important to consider one of the other requirements of this subclause, which is the creating and updating. That is, how often documentation undergoes revision and how these revisions are identified and classified. Having the appropriate documentation on hand is great, but it won't be worth much if your system changes and your documentation doesn't. Furthermore, you will have a requirement to demonstrate these changes through a version control log to an auditor. Now, this is where the SafeWrite Policies Manager can prove extremely useful. Not only will it make the storage of your documentation easily accessible, the cloud portal will also track any changes you make to your documentation and undergo automatic version control. So your document numbers, modification histories, and user associations are all logged automatically. I hope you've learned a bit from this video around Clause 7, the support clause in the ISO standards. If you have any questions about some of the content that we've gone through, or about how potentially the SafeWrite platform can help you in achieving your goals, feel free to get in touch with the team. You can always email sales@safewrite.com or visit our website www.safewrite.com. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.